Amanda West, for crying out loud. And she is the Director of Governmental Relations for Planned Parenthood of Michigan. Thanks for joining us, Amanda.
Thanks for having me.
I figured if I was going to have the Catholic Church on one segment, I might as well have Planned Parenthood on the next one, right? Why not?
Fair and balanced.
Fair and balanced, right? Almost like Fox News, but not quite. All right, I got you on the program here to talk about a bill I've never heard of before. And so I've been covering politics here in this state for 15 years. This is a newbie for me, not your boss's business. What is this all about?
This bill helps to protect women from any adverse employment actions for their reproductive health care choices.
So that means that if a woman decides to have an abortion and I fire them, currently it's okay. Is that true?
I'm not sure that that's true. I think that, that we want to make sure that a woman cannot be intimidated or shouldn't be concerned about her job because of any choices that she makes on birth control or in vitro fertilization.
Now, what is kind of the spark of this? Have we been seeing this in other states?
Mm-hmm. I think that we're seeing this in a response to the Hobby Lobby decision. We'll be having the one-year anniversary of that Supreme Court ruling here at the end of the month. I think that as more employers are utilizing that decision to restrict their insurance coverage of contraceptives, we're concerned that women who are inquiring about those or making certain decisions about birth control might, have their jobs taken away. They might be demoted. They might have to change positions within a company because of those decisions, and that's wrong.
Now, we have a bill in the House and the Senate on this, just in case. We got our bases covered here.
Right.
Who do we got as sponsors of these things?
Senator Ananick is sponsoring this in the Senate, and Marcia Hovey-Wright, Representative Hovey-Wright, out of Muskegon in the House.
So we've got a Republican legislature, Republican House, and a Republican Senate. You can't be too optimistic about this thing,
No,
are you?
in fact, this was introduced last session and did not come up for a hearing. But, everyone has a mother or a sister or a daughter, and they should all be concerned about the choices that these women make and any adverse actions that could be taken based on those choices. We should all be concerned about this, and hopefully we'll be able to find some common ground and address that this session.
Now, this is something that if it's not taken up this year, then you guys would be okay pressing this next session and the session after that. Why is it that important?
Well, the most important economic decisions that a woman makes in her lifetime are if, when, and how to have a child. So it's so critically important that those decisions not be hindered by an employer or what their beliefs are.
Now, is this, do we see this in like small businesses? Could we see this in major corporations?
There are multiple businesses and not-for-profit organizations in the state that have opted out of providing contraceptive coverage. Domino's, AutoCam, Eden Foods are a number of the larger employers here in the state. So we want to make sure that women in various companies across the state don't have to be concerned about what might happen if they decide to take birth control pills. They shouldn't have that worry. And let's talk about a woman that has high blood pressure.
Okay.
She won't have to worry about what would happen at work if she takes one form of treatment over another. And that should be the case for birth control as well.
It's amazing that we would see something like this at the workplace, but it does happen.
It does, yeah. There have been women in Wisconsin and Ohio that have been terminated from their jobs because they underwent in vitro fertilization.
Well, that's interesting. And obviously, is there a law like this on the books in any state that you know of?
There has been, I think the law passed in New York. I know that it's been introduced around the country. There's an Arizona law that does quite the opposite, and it allows employers to ask women why they are on birth control or making the contraceptive choices they are, so that an employer can deem if those choices are worthy or not.
We're joined here with Amanda West, Director of Government Relations for Planned Parenthood. We're talking about this not your boss's business legislation. Now, what if I'm a state legislator and saying, well, it's religious freedom here. I mean, if I'm the owner of this company and this goes against my religious beliefs, then I'm going to go ahead and fire you. It's my right.
We would disagree with that. We would disagree and think that access to health care options are not something that can be worked against with religious belief.
Now, the Planned Parenthood of Michigan has a program going on this summer called My Health and My Life. Tell me about that.
Sure. We are working over the summer to talk about some of the basic healthcare rights that women should have and how those are under attack on a daily basis. Just in the last 5 years, there have been 75 bills introduced here in Lansing that would restrict healthcare access for women. So we are working to fight those bills and work on good bills like the one that we talked about this morning through some pledges that folks can go onto our website at miplannedparenthood.org and fill a pledge card and learn how to get involved in the fight against these bad bills.
Very good. Amanda West, Director of Government Relations for Planned Parenthood Advocates of Michigan. Are you related to Kanye West?
No.
There's no
I get the
relation-
question all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Does it ever get old?
Never.